to another TerranScapes video. This is a major project that I've been working on for, well, probably the better part of the year, and only now I've put together enough pieces to be able to feel like I can display it properly. And it comprises a few common pieces that I've done in the past, as well as a new board set, which you can see here, as well as some new hirst arts pieces, which I'll talk about individually. So first, just to discuss the board. I realized that some people were looking for a more urban landscape for a lot of their sci-fi gaming, like 40K. So what I wanted to do is put together a new modular board set that incorporated a canal that is a couple inches wide and a couple inches deep. Actually, it's 1 inch deep, and it has a corrugated siding, like a corrugated tin, corrugated steel siding, which I've painted to reflect a heavy weathering rust look. And it features a sort of murky, new kind of color for the mucka in it. And then I've added in some debris. I've put in some barrels, some I-beams, some rubble. I've put in a little bit of razor wire and painted that all up to look rusty as well. So I've scattered some of those piles of debris throughout the canal, and you'll probably see some more as we walk around the table. The second main feature for the boards that I wanted to try out for this, which I think came out really well, pardon me while I block the light, there we go, is a new road section. So I wanted to put in some kind of a road, something that gave a sci-fi feel, yet was easy to cut and apply, because trying to cut styrene or to paint in dirt or something, I wanted something that was going to be relatively simple to put down, gave a sort of science fiction feel, and something that I could damage at the ends fairly easily so that I could show sort of scattered tiles coming off of it so that I could have lots of variation in the layout, mainly. So here, see if I can give you a nice little close-up. You can see this has just been painted to be sort of a lightish, almost like rotting flesh color from GW paint line, although that's not the paint that I used. Excuse me while I drag that around. And what I've done, let's see if I pan back here, is you can see that the road follows a variety of shapes and twists and has termination points at several spots, and is on a variety of boards, whether it be on 10 by 10 boards or on the full 10 by 20 inch boards. So it really affords you quite a bit of layout options. Because of the road and the canal, now we have two things that have to meet up on the table at any one particular layout. So I had to add in an extra pair of 10 by 10 boards. There are two 10 by 10s that have terminations for the road. Second one is over in this corner over here. And then I've added in a plain 10 by 10 board, which is somewhere out there anyway. And those three 10 by 10s afford you the flexibility to have the roads running around the canal and still be able to do multiple layouts. There's actually an additional 10 by 20 board for this set that's plain, which again fills in some of the gaps and allows you to have multiple variations where you can omit one of the sections with the roads or omit one of the sections with the canal to give you multiple layouts. And I'll do another layout in this video just so I can give you that perspective as well. And so here you can see another layout where the canal bisects the board pretty much right down the middle. Of course, this could always be shifted over, shifted more this way. I took one of the sections of canal and just made it as a little cap there, and then stitched the road together. And I wanted to design it so that if you really wanted to, and there's another layout possibility as well in addition to this, you could have the road transect almost the entire board, which would give you a nice setup for perhaps a scenario where people have to cross along this pathway through this wasteland over the canal, and so it gives you a lot of playing options. But anyway, just to give you a sense of what a potential alternative layout would be, and there are many layouts possible with this, and an infinite variability really with the addition of a few boards, such as a board with rock outcroppings or a hill, or some of the other boards that I've done for the other sets. The other thing that I wanted to do is have the road cross the canal. So let me pull this up. So I had the road cross the canal here, and then that is a convenient place to lay a bridge. and I've developed a bridge for this. And the bridge I'm going to sell with the cross board. So this board, which is got a canal running lengthwise and then has the road bisecting it, the bridge will accompany it. And I should mention a little bit about the bridge. What I've done is I have used some Pegasus Hobbies pieces. If you know their Hex platform or their platformer kits, they're great kits that have a variety of different pieces in them. And I've used some styrene sheeting, and it is mounted on foam board, to create a simple bridge that wasn't too difficult to put together, and then I could weather it with some rust effects and give it some, dress it up just a little bit here. Let's see if that can focus. There we go. And the thing about this, though, is that I don't have enough parts from all the kits that I have to replicate this bridge exactly as it is each time I make it. So the bridge will vary every time I build it, so that you can't guarantee exactly what the bridge will look like, but it will be of comparable size and of comparable detail. This bridge is, I believe, oh gosh, I forgot to bring my tape measure over, about 5 inches wide, a little bit bigger. I tried to look up the dimensions of a Bane blade, thinking what's the biggest vehicle that might want to cross it, and I think this will fit. The sponsons are wider than the bridge, I believe, but they should sit up over the rails. Again, I can't guarantee the exact dimensions of the width every time, but I will try to make it at least 5 inches minimum, and probably will allow wider models to cover over it, depending on how high the rails are, depending on the pieces that I use. So that's the board set. What also I've added to it, though, just to show you how it can work together and how I would expect it to be utilized in a game, is I've added in a set of the Martian buttes. Let me pan over one that's a little bit closer by here. And I've just painted them up to match the boards and given them a sort of stony gray look. And this is including one set of buttes. Now, I'm not going to list them with the board set because, of course, they're already listed separately. And it sort of, I'm encouraging you to think about other pieces of terrain that are on the site, such as the craters, that you could purchase to add to this board set, and just request that they be finished to match the same color. And of course, if I see you place an order for the board set and a few accompanying pieces, if you don't mention it, I'll inquire, because it's often the intention to have them match, but I want to just double check with you. So that is also an item to add some variety. If you notice, I didn't build any boards with hills on them. I already offer hills in the Verdant set. I also offer mesas and a mesa board in the Martian set. So those are boards that could be selected out and then added to this board set, and then I would just finish them to match with the same kind of surface coating and color scheme. So that's why I didn't build any for this, and I really was just trying to work on getting the basic layout with all of these road end caps, the canals, and get that so that I could tile these pieces in a variety of configurations, and that's the board set that I developed. The second thing that I wanted to mention in this video are the Hirst Arts pieces that you see. The Hirst Arts company, Bruce Hirst, produced a set of molds that produce factory pieces, and I've kept these separate for shipping so that it'll be easier to pack them safely, because these pieces are tall, and these are currently cast out of plaster, or in this case I'm using some cardstock that he recommended to make the towers with, and then they're capped with plaster castings. And again, this is all separate so that you, oh, I should be focusing with the camera, not looking with my hand. Anyway, so that you can ship that more easily and pack and store it, because a long piece like this, all connected, is going to end up being fairly fragile. This is really a test set. I did a stagnant pond here, and I swirled in some paint. Well, I think that really came out kind of interesting looking. It looks a little fetid and unusual. What my plan is, though, is to redo this set with some slight modifications so that I can cast them as entire pieces using either resin or expanding foam, depending on the size of the pieces that I build. So this is going to be a unique set that I'm going to sell as an individual group. And I might split the group into the pipework, industrial pieces, and then the more power generating, sort of, I don't know what else to call them. To me, they feel like generators or purification plants or some kind of converters. And then I'm going to redo these pieces. There'll be some variations because of the way I built them. I feel like some of these will be a little tricky to cast, or I could build them in different ways to add a little more interest. And then these will appear on the site as individual pieces that could be purchased at a later date. So just to give you a sense of what's to come and also what's available in this set, there are these three structures here, which are pipeworks. This pipework setup here I developed to sit alongside the canal and then have one outflow pouring into the canal, so this lies right along that there. And then it includes this tower piece over here, which I built as one piece, and then wanted to redo that and have this base separate. So again, I have all sorts of changes in mind, but overall, it was also a test bed to try out how the pieces fit together, how they look on the table, what kinds of flooring to add to them. So I've added in some of the pipework flooring, and there's some steel plating in there, there's some grates in there, and then I've also gone through and I've done quite a bit of weathering. And again, this is a new area I'm really trying to actively explore. And what I've been doing is I found a great resource for railroad modeling and fine miniatures finishing, and they're utilizing the weathering powders in great ways that have inspired me to try a whole bunch of new ideas. And you can see this a lot better probably in the close-up photos, but this new camera does a pretty good job of close-up focus. And where I can pile in the rust and really give some better rust effects that look so much more realistic than what I've been doing in the past, and are really a major leap forward. Let me see if I can show you here. And again on the side, so I've got areas where there are seams, rust is accumulated and is seeping down. You can see it on this cluster of barrels. I'll also be including these barrels with the refinery set. So just really giving me a whole new way of looking at weathering with the powders and taking them and giving so much more depth and realism. You know, when rust builds up, it can actually sit above the surface, and you can see corrosion build up, and this new technique really achieves that very well. I've actually been very excited about it. It takes a little bit of time, but I've been learning how to apply it a little bit faster. And you can see, again, let me give you a close-up of the bridge, where I've added in some of those deteriorated areas as they've been eroding and corroding over time. So that gives you a sense of the overall set and some of the pieces. So again, by the time you see this video, the board set should be, careful for the lights here, the board set should be up on the website, and you can check it out there and see close-up photos of it. You can also go to the website, if you haven't already been to TerranScapes.com, you can see the buttes that are available, and there's already close-up photos of those available. And you can also see close-up photos of the new Hirst Arts refinery pieces. And it is my firm intention, although I am chronically behind my time goals, so it is a one-man job, and I'm doing everything by myself, so sometimes I miss my dates, but it is my firm intention to have these pieces ready as an individual sale by the beginning of next year. But of course, the set that you see here will be available for immediate sale. I'm going to offer it to somebody that I have been in contact with, and if they pass up on it, then it will be on the site for you to purchase. Well, that was a mouthful. I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at the new board set. And again, I want to encourage you to go to TerranScapes.com to see these with detailed pictures. You can take a look at all the other products that are available on the website, and you can also find contact information there if you want to inquire about how you can obtain the set, or if you have any questions that I haven't addressed in the video. And I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to showing you the next stage of production for the pieces involved in this set. Thanks.